Friends, in this video, we are going to learn a submersible starter wiring and working, in which we learn how to do wiring of two-pole contactor, also learn a running capacitor connection, starting capacitor connection, ampere meter and voltmeter connection. So let's start video and first see working of submersible start. When you press start push button, so you can see motor starter contactor is on. Also voltmeter showing running voltage and start indicator is on. Okay, and also when you press the stop push button, so motor starter will stop. Okay, when you press the start push button, contactor on, voltmeter on, and also indicator is on. So let's start video and first this is setup for this connection. After that we will learn all connection step by step. So in this setup we have one contactor which is two-pole contactor. In this two-pole contactor, you can see on upper side we have power terminals, which is input power terminals, in which we need to give line and neutral when contactor on. So output supply comes here. Okay, and this two terminal is contactor coil, in which we need to give line and neutral 220 volt. When we give line and neutral, the contactor will on. Okay, I hope you clear the concept. And also we connect one start push button. In this start push button we connected two NO element. Okay, first NO element to on motor starter. When you press start push button, so motor starter will on, and also second NO element for starting capacitor, because starting capacitor running only when you press start push button. Starting capacitor rating is very high, 100 to 120 microfarad. Okay, when you press start push button, so starting capacitor will run, and when we stop pressing start push button, so starting capacitor will cut off. And we connect one running capacitor. Running capacitor rating is 36 microfarad. Running capacitor will run continuously when motor starter is running. Okay, so running capacitor runs continuously and starting capacitor run only when you press start push button. Okay, we connect one stop push button. In stop push button we connect one NO element, one indicator. When starter is on, so indicator will on. Also we connect one ampere meter and voltmeter. Ampere meter will show total running ampere when motor starter will on. Okay, and also voltmeter, it will show total voltage when motor starter is on. And also we connect control MCB, single pole control MCB for start and stop motor starter. And also connect connectors. In first two connectors we need to connect a line in neutral input power supply, and last three terminal for motor connection, which is running, starting and common. Okay, let's start wiring. First we understand power wiring. So first we connect one connector from line connector and connect this connector to control MCB. First power supply comes in this MCB. When power supply is on, MCB is on. So first we understand power wiring for this motor starter. When MCB on, so first phase comes here to contactor power terminal, first power terminal. Okay, when contactor will on, so this phase will comes here and connect this phase wire to motor running terminal. Okay, this phase wire will go motor winding running terminal. Now learn neutral wiring. So we connect one connector for neutral and connect this neutral connector to contactor power terminal, L2 terminal. Okay, also we need to give neutral in contactor coil. Okay, so neutral we connect directly in this coil. So also we connect one connector for contactor coil. So we connect one neutral connector in L2 terminal of power terminal of contactor, and also neutral connects directly to contactor coil. So for operating contactor, neutral connects directly. Please note down connection, all concept we will clear. Okay, now when contactor operate, so this neutral wire comes here and connect this connector to motor common terminal. Okay, so we connected in third terminal of connector. Now let's see running capacitor connection. We connect running capacitor is 36 microfarad, and also we know in normal condition capacitor will connect in motor running and starting terminal. Okay, and capacitor will not connect in common terminal. So black wire for common power supply, So we will not connect capacitor on break. We will connect this capacitor in red wire for motor running, and near of this red wire we connect motor Y terminal, that means which will starting of the motor winding. So we connect this capacitor in running and starting winding of motor. Okay, black wire for common, so we will not connect capacitor connection in common. Okay, now let's see control wiring connection, how contactor operate and how contactor will hold. It's most important. Okay, so first for control wiring, you can take control power supply from MCB output or contactor input terminal. Okay, for control wiring we take one connector from MCB output terminal. Please note down connection, it's most important. So line wire first connect in MCB and connect in start push button NO element. Okay, when you press this start push button, so contactor will operate. So any element output we connect in contactor coil. When you press start push button, so contactor will operate because we connect neutral directly and line wire from start push button. Okay, so when you press start push button, so contactor will operate only for manually. Now let's learn how to do holding connection for this contactor. Okay, holding is most important for two-pole contactor. Now let's see how to provide holding supply. So for holding supply, when you press start push button, so you can see line wire comes here, and when you press start push button, so contactor operate and supply comes from contactor output terminal. Okay, and when contactor operate, so supply comes here. Okay, when press start push button, so contactor operate and supply comes in contactor output terminal. So we take one connector from contactor output terminal because supply comes continuously here, and we connect this connector to stop push button in which we connect NC element. It's most important, and because NC element, so supply comes continuously here, and connect this connector to start push button output terminal. Okay, it's most important. Now let's learn a holding concept. Okay, so you can see when you press start push button, so contactor operate manually. Okay, contactor operate, and also we connect line wire from MCB to here input terminal. When contactor operate, so this supply comes here output terminal, and connect this connector to stop push button NC element, and connect this connector to contact start push button output terminal, which is going to the contactor coil. So contactor will hold from here. I hope you clear the concept of holding power supply. Okay, when you press start push button, so contactor will operate and this supply will hold contactor. Okay, when you press stop push button, so holding will cut, and holding will cut, so motor starter will stop. Okay, I hope you clear the concept of holding. Now let's learn a connection of starting capacitor. The starting capacitor normally should be connected in running in starting winding of motor, but because its value is very high, so starting capacitor run only when you press start push button. Okay, so for starting capacitor connection, first we connect one connector in running winding of motor, which is red wire. So first we connect a running capacitor one wire from running winding, and connect capacitor second wire in start push button NO element, which we use for controlling of starting capacitor. So starting capacitor second wire connect in start push button second NO element. Okay, and NO element output connect starting winding of motor. Okay, so starting capacitor operate only when we press start push button. So start push button works as a switch to start and stop starting capacitor. Now let's see how it works. Okay, when we press start push button, so contactor will on. When we press stop push button, so contactor will stop. Also starting capacitor run only when we press start push button. When we stop pressing this start push button, so starting capacitor will cut up. Okay, I hope you clear the concept. Now let's learn a connection of ammeter, voltmeter, and a start indicator connection. Okay, so first we see connection of for voltmeter, and voltmeter always connect parallelly. Okay, in which we need to give line and neutral. Okay, so for voltmeter connection, you can give connection from contactor input terminal, but if you connect in contactor input terminal, so it will run continuously. Okay, In normal condition, when press start push button, so motor starter will on. When motor starter will on, so voltmeter should show voltage when motor starter is in on condition. Okay, so we'll do connection of voltmeter from contactor output terminal. Okay, also indicator should on when motor starter is on, so we will connect indicator and voltmeter connection from contactor output terminal. You can see in indicator we connected two wires. So first wire of red wire and voltmeter red wire we connect in contactor output terminal. Okay, when contactor will operate, so line supply comes here and operate voltmeter and indicator. Both voltmeter and indicator on only when motor starter is in on condition. If motor starter will stop, so it will not show voltage and also indicator will stop. And neutral wire connects here from L2 terminal of contactor. Now voltmeter and indicator connection is done. Now let's see ammeter connection. So ammeter should show total running ampere. Okay, so for ampere meter connection, and it will connect in series connection. Okay, you can see both wire is an ammeter will connect in series. So for series connection, and also it will show full ampere. So just we connect this ammeter wire from MCB output terminal first. Okay, in normal condition we connect for power wiring. Contactor input terminal comes here. Okay, so just we remove this wire from contactor input terminal. For ampere meter connection, ampere meter wire connects first, and this wire rating should be high, 2.5 square mm or 4 square mm, because all load will on this wire. And ampere meter second wire, because ampere meter connect in series, and second wire will connect in contactor input terminal L1 terminal, and we remove this connector. Okay, so motor starter will total ampere will show by this ammeter because we connect ampere meter in series. Okay, now let's see of motor terminal connection. So from red wire, motor R wire connects here, and Y wire connects in here, which is starting wire, and common wire blue wire connect in last terminal. Okay, now let's see how it works. First, control MCB on. When you press start push button, so voltmeter is showing voltage and also start indicator on. Contactor is on when you press stop push button. So contactor is stop, voltmeter is stop, and indicator will stop. Okay, so I hope you clear the concept of how to do submersible starter connection with 2-pole contactor. If you like this video, please press like button. For today's enough. We'll meet in next video.